So, a lot of folks are wondering, what is intersectionality? Well, let me sum it up. See, intersectionality states that you cannot sum together the experience of a black person in general or a woman in general to understand the experience of a black woman. So, let's say that you're trying to find the universal essence of blackness. All black people are the same, is what you might think. But actually, intersectionality says it's different. So you might say that the black experience is some abstract, universal thing, and it's the same for black women as it is for black men. But the highly intellectual liberals who understand intersectionality go, actually, it's different. And you're like shocked because you're like, whoa, things are way more complicated in this world than I thought. And then you go, okay, well, so maybe black people are different between the women and the men then. But the black women, they have to all have something. There's something universal about that, right? Like they're kind of all the same. And then the liberal goes, actually, you're wrong again, because the gay black women are different than the straight black women. Wow. And, at this point, your mind is really wide open. That's advanced theory right there, okay? That's really advanced theory. So you go, okay, all right, but all of the gay black women, they're kind of the same, right? They have some sort of abstract commonality, some kind of universality about them. And the liberal goes, man, you just don't get it, do you? Look, actually, I'm maybe liberal, but I'm also a Marxist. And I'll have you know that the poor black women are different than the rich black women. There's another difference. Then at this point you go, whoa, I never thought of it that way. Is there some way that I can donate to these poor homosexual black women so that their lives can be better? Because they sound pretty oppressed. And the liberal goes, yeah, there is, but you should really donate to this fund for poor, non-binary, gay, neurodivergent, disabled, fat Muslim black women instead. And, that's a really good point. You should do that instead. So if you want to sum up intersectionality, well, you should get out a calculator, because, say there's 10 races, there's probably more, but say there's 10 races, 5 genders, that's 50 identities. Now let's say you have 3 classes, upper, middle, lower. Now you have 150 identities. And then say there's like 5 different sexualities. Now you have 750 different identities to deal with. And then there's at least 1,000 different disabilities out there. So now you have 750,000 different identities you got to think of. Oh, and also, disabilities aren't exclusive. You can have 2 or 3 different disabilities. So what does that make it? Oh, that's 747 trillion possible identities. Plus, they could be fat. So let's double that, say they're either fat or thin. Now you have 1.5 quadrillion identities. And that's what intersectionality is all about. And if you can't account for that, then you're probably just a bigot. So thanks, intersectionality, for explaining reality to us. I really understand now. Now, some liberals will correct you on this, because they'll say, look, I believe in standpoint theory, okay? I'm a white guy, and I'm trying to understand the black experience. You shouldn't do that, because if you're white, you have no way to understand what it means to be black. And all you can do is just sit and listen to black people, because, the world is split and fractured into different identity-based subjectivities. And I say, okay, liberal, well, maybe that's true, but what if the black person doesn't believe in standpoint theory and intersectionality? What if they actually think we're all kind of the same, and that we actually do live in some kind of common objective reality? Now, at this point, the liberal will say, look, That's their choice. I dare not try to piece together the mystery of black minds, okay? I only sit in awe and confusion every time a black person speaks. You know, us whites, we can't understand the great wilderness of the black mind. And, you know, half the time, we can't even tell what they're saying. And at this point, I would say, you know what? That's really good for you, my liberal friend, and I can see that standpoint theory serves you really well. And then the liberal says, hey, you know, by the way, I couldn't help but notice your exotic features. I know it's very impolite to ask, but what are you, if you don't mind me asking? And I go, sorry, what are you asking me? And they go, oh, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry. I am really sorry. And I go, are you wondering if I'm a communist? Because I am. And you know what? I think Stalin, he was a great man. And at this point, the liberal says, so you're white and you're a white supremacist, you're a misogynist, you're a transphobe. I can see by what you said earlier that you're making fun of intersectionality. And you know, being against intersectionality means that you're everyone phobic, right? It literally just means that you're a bad person who doesn't understand oppression because you're too stupid or too uneducated. You're probably just a loser who never has sex. And in fact, I'm so offended by your comments that I'm going to put you on a list so all my friends can know that you're a bigot. I don't support free speech for you, and I hope that you have an unpleasant day and that you die very soon. And at this point, I would say, you know what, liberal? I think, you know what, that is kind of mean. That's kind of rude and upsetting. But you know what? I dare not try to pierce through the white mind. You know, I have my own subjectivity, so we will just figure that out for ourselves.